On July 1st, 2025, the universe knocked on our door. It happened in the quiet, perfect dark above Chile, where the Atlas Survey Telescope picked up something faint, not just fast. This object, later designated 3I Atlas, wasn't orbiting our sun. It was tearing through our system at a staggering 61 kilometers per second. That speed confirmed it. This was an interstellar giant, ripped from a distant star system and hurled across the void. The buzz was immediate. Every astronomer on Earth instantly compared it to our previous interstellar visitors and realized this was different. This thing was massive, eclipsing the combined size of Oumuamua and Borisov. The sheer scale was unsettling, sparking rumors among us. What kind of cataclysmic stellar event was powerful enough to create and launch this monster? I remember the feeling of electricity in the air as we raced to verify its path. This wasn't just astronomy, this was history. A small, weathered notebook found at the observatory, now legendary, held a final prophetic note from the night of discovery. It read simply, "This visitor may redefine all we know." But redefining our cosmic understanding was just the start, because as we charted its trajectory, the dark secrets of 3I Atlas shifted from simple science to a terrifying urgency. And that's when the silence began. The most dangerous information about this comet wasn't its speed, but the reason astronomers suddenly stopped reporting on its approach. Once that hyperbolic velocity was locked in, 61 kilometers per second, remember, the global scientific community went into overdrive. Every observatory, professional and amateur, pointed their lenses toward the void. But finding this giant was a cosmic game of hide and seek. The comet's path was slicing straight through the densest part of the sky, near the galactic center. It was hidden in plain sight by millions of stars for weeks before Atlas ever found it. Then came Sam Dean. An amateur astronomer, working out of a tiny remote setup, did what the giants couldn't. He dug through archival images and found the pre-discovery frames. Sam became an instant headline, a perfect example of how the biggest discoveries often come from the most unexpected places. It fueled our belief this comet held something ancient, something intact, pristine interstellar materials that could rewrite planetary formation textbooks. The joke among us was that 3I Atlas was the cosmic hide-and-seek champion, but underneath the humor was a real, raw tension. Every observing session, every new data point, every spectrum analysis wasn't just research. It was a frantic, global scramble to understand this intruder. We knew it was massive, we knew it was fast, but what we didn't know was why it was accelerating. The initial mystery was its size. The real terror? It was moving faster than physics said it should, and that's when the data started contradicting itself. The word giant doesn't do 3I Atlas justice. When the initial mass measurements came back, they didn't just surprise us, they stunned us into silence. This was no tiny, icy wanderer. Its mass estimate shattered all previous assumptions about interstellar objects. It surpassed the combined mass of Oumuamua and Borisov. Think about that. Two separate interstellar visitors, and this single entity outweighed them both. It fundamentally challenged the idea that interstellar objects were small and sparse fragments. How does something that colossal survive millions of years, hurtling through the punishing void of space without being chipped away to nothing? Theories exploded. Was it protected by an exceptionally tough, primordial icy crust? Or, the truly frightening question, was there some form of unknown cosmic shielding? I remember the haunted feeling when we saw its light, a faint, ethereal blue-green glow captured in those first clear images. It looked powerful, ancient, and utterly alone. The whisper started at the SETI Institute. Maybe this wasn't just a comet. Maybe this was a primordial relic, something forged at the very genesis of a neighboring star system. But relics don't accelerate. And that's where the awe turned into deep scientific dread, because the deeper we looked, the more the numbers refused to make sense. If you're captivated by cosmic mysteries like this, hit that like button right now. It helps the channel reach more people who deserve to know what's really lurking out there. Because the next chapter reveals the hidden fuel driving this monster. From July to October, 3i Atlas gave us a celestial grand tour. It didn't just skirt the edges, it sliced right into the neighborhood, passing briefly inside the orbit of Mars. This was our moment. NASA mobilized every major asset. Hubble, Webb, and the SPHEREX mission all turned their powerful eyes toward the speeding giant. The amount of data pouring back was unprecedented. We were getting insights into its structure and activity that we could only dream of before. The comet's closest approach, its perihelion, brought it within just 1.4 astronomical units of the Sun. This was a critical window. Solar radiation was beating down on the nucleus, and we were desperate to see if that heat would trigger massive outgassing events, potentially revealing hidden, exotic chemistry deep inside. At mission control, the mood was frantic but exhilarating. We were joking about chasing a ghost from a distant world, constantly adjusting our robotic telescopes to keep the ghost in sight. Its passage was swift, almost arrogant, a reminder that we are small and cosmic wonders operate on a timescale far beyond our control. The speed and proximity gave us a perfect view of its enormous tail, but the closer we looked, the more the conventional explanations evaporated, because the chemistry we expected to see under that solar glare, the standard water ice and carbon monoxide, it was simply not there. The tail was hiding something far more sinister. The effort to track 3i Atlas wasn't just observing, it was a symphony of technology. The initial detection came from Earth via the robotic Atlas network, but the baton was quickly passed to our orbiting eye in the sky, the Hubble Space Telescope. By mid-July, Hubble had confirmed the nucleus's gargantuan size and activity levels. It was the first hard evidence that this thing was alive. Then came the heavy hitters. The Webb telescope, with its unparalleled infrared vision, started peeling back the layers of dust, giving us subtle clues about the comet's mysterious composition. But the most intriguing data came from SPHEREX. Its spectral analysis hinted at complex organic molecules, the very building blocks of life. Then came the speculation mounted. Could 3i Atlas be carrying the ingredients critical to life's origins, seeded from some long-dead, distant system? The discussions at the science conferences weren't just heated, they were borderline feverish. We were desperate for answers. I even saw a fake memo circulating online, one that captured the urgency perfectly. If it sings the secrets of the universe, we must listen. Layering all that data transformed 3i Atlas from a tiny point of light into a living, breathing relic of the galaxy's past. But the deeper we listened to its song, the more dissonant the notes became. Because the organic molecules we found weren't the expected ones. They were incredibly rare, incredibly dense, and they were accelerating the comet, contradicting everything we thought we knew about spaceflight. October 3rd, 2025, the cosmic freight train rumbled through the neighborhood. 3i Atlas made its closest approach to Mars, a relatively small distance of 28 million kilometers. All the spacecraft orbiting the red planet were put on high alert for opportunistic observations. But the real stroke of genius came from the Europa Clipper. This mission, already en route to Jupiter, was given an emergency detour, a daring side survey. As the comet transited behind the Sun from Earth's perspective, the Europa Clipper had the perfect unobstructed view. This was a methodological first in interstellar research, gathering unique, simultaneous data from multiple, extremely distant vantage points. Even the Mars rovers, limited as they were, scanned the skies, trying to pick up the faint, distant dust trails. Engineers joked that we were watching a cosmic freight train rumble past distant stations. The data that came back from the Europa Clipper was phenomenal. We got perfect, clear images of the comet's outgassing activity, confirming the presence of those dense organic materials. But that clarity also brought a horrifying realization. The outgassing wasn't uniform. It was directional. It wasn't natural. Something was controlling the steam. And that's when the first strictly classified reports started circulating about artificial non-gravitational acceleration. The ghost wasn't riding a freight train, it was driving it. The closer 3I Atlas got to the sun, the bigger the mystery became. Conventional wisdom is clear. Solar winds and intense radiation should have fragmented or vaporized a comet this close, especially one composed primarily of ice and dust. But 3I Atlas didn't just survive, it seemed completely unfazed. How? The hypotheses were endless. Did it possess an unusually dense core, perhaps packed with heavy metals we couldn't detect? Or was it protected by an icy shell, so thick, so pristine, that it was replenished by unknown cosmic processes? Some brilliant minds started speculating wildly. Maybe it wasn't a standard comet at all, but a fragment from a binary star collision, giving it an unnatural structural toughness forged in unimaginable stellar fires. The darkest rumors began floating around the perimeter of classified research labs, suggesting secret teams were examining it for highly unusual magnetic properties, or even more unsettling, direct interactions with dark matter. Dr. Ariel Graykovsky, one of the leading astrophysicists on the project, articulated the frustration and awe perfectly when she mused, "It's as if the comet carries a protective armor forged in the fires of another sun." But armor doesn't explain the acceleration. The numbers showed the comet was moving non-gravitationally, moving faster than the sun's pull could account for. And if it wasn't natural armor protecting it, then we had to face the possibility that the protective element wasn't natural at all. The armor was concealing something designed. The origin of 3I Atlas became the greatest scientific puzzle of the 21st century. Where did this colossal relic come from? Was it formed in the cold, chaotic protoplanetary disk around a dying star? Or was it the result of something far more violent, ejected from the explosive remnants of a supernova? The fact that its initial trajectory cut through the dense star fields near the galactic center only made the origin models impossibly complex. It could have traveled for millions, even billions of years. But then the dark theories began. Intriguing, though absolutely unconfirmed, rumors started circulating among junior staff, whispers about encoded signals, irregular light patterns that hinted at more than just tumbling ice. Could this be artificial? Could 3I Atlas be a cosmic messenger, carrying silent warnings, or perhaps even a gift from a civilization long dead or far beyond our reach? I was gripped by the idea that it might be an ancient cosmic shipwreck wandering the galaxy on an eternal, aimless voyage, harboring lost knowledge. But a shipwreck is passive. A messenger is active. And the calculations, the cold, hard, non-gravitational acceleration numbers, all pointed toward the latter. The closer we looked, the clearer the evidence became. Whatever this object was, it was generating its own propulsion. And that truth shattered the entire scientific consensus, forcing NASA and global observatories to make a chilling decision. They decided to stop talking about it. By March 2026, the Great Ghost was ready to depart. 3I Atlas approached Jupiter's orbit for its final rendezvous with our solar system. Jupiter's powerful gravitational influence, the greatest mass in our system besides the Sun, briefly nudged the comet, setting its trajectory for a final, irreversible escape into the interstellar void. We captured the final images, a slowly fading, majestic tail, a glowing beacon marking a brief transient visit. It was profoundly moving. 3I Atlas instantly became a symbol of cosmic loneliness, a fleeting connection to something vast and ancient. Discussions full of melancholy and awe emerged about the significance of such giant interstellar objects. Could they be the universe's ultimate transport system, seeding life or essential raw materials across vast star systems? Was this how galactic knowledge was shared? A fictional haiku circulated quietly among the scientists, capturing the moment perfectly. Silent god of stars, you dance on cosmic highways, leaving tales behind. But the tale it left behind was terrifying, because the fading light revealed the final undeniable secret. As 3I Atlas escaped the strongest gravitational influence of Jupiter, its non-gravitational acceleration actually increased. It wasn't just surviving, it was escaping under its own power. And that's the moment the global news coverage vanished. 3I Atlas vanished completely, swallowed by the darkness beyond Jupiter. But its legacy is still reshaping how humanity views interstellar space. The giant comet inspired an immediate, urgent push for new telescopic technology. It intensified the efforts of SETI, turning their listening dishes toward the specific star field from which the object originated. 3I Atlas wasn't just a scientific discovery, it was rocket fuel for the human imagination, completely engulfing science fiction. Universities established dedicated research chairs focused entirely on finding and tracking the next interstellar visitor. Planetariums filled up for exhibits titled The Monster from Beyond. Conjectural documentaries, some brilliant, some absurd, portrayed the comet not as debris, but as a herald of a terrifying new cosmic age. I heard an anecdote about a young child at a star talk looking up at the projection of that massive, silent orb and whispering, "Maybe it's still out there, watching us." And that ultimately is the truth of 3I Atlas. It ignited a profound, unsettling awareness of the vast, mysterious, and potentially engineered galaxy just beyond our solar system's cozy confines. We found evidence of propulsion, intelligent, non-gravitational control, and then the world stopped talking. It vanished from the news. It was scrubbed from mainstream scientific reports. Why? Because the final, classified trajectory projections based on the non-gravitational acceleration suggested that wherever this object was going, it wasn't aimless. 3I Atlas wasn't a shipwreck, and it wasn't a messenger. It was a reconnaissance probe, and its mission was complete. What do you think was hiding inside that massive armored relic? Was it simply rare elements, or was it something truly conscious? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the cosmic secrets the government doesn't want you talking about, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next transmission.